So this is on trail day number 173. It's Wednesday, October 20th, 2021. I stayed at the Hogback Ridge Shelter, I think was the name of it, last night. Put my tent up out back. There was quite a few people there, section hikers. There's still a couple there this morning. So the goal for today is to skip a shelter. The next shelter is 8 miles, and then the one after that's 15. So I'm going to try and do a 15. The toes and all are feeling good at the moment, but we'll see. I'm definitely going to go past the next shelter, go further than 8 miles. We'll just see how the day turns out. It's 10:30, so I'm not getting too late of a start for a 15-mile day. It was a good night last night. It wasn't real chilly, clear. Didn't sleep very good. The moon was real bright. I think tonight is supposed to be a full-on full moon. So I haven't even looked at the elevation profile for today. I'll just deal with it as it comes. I think it was just 4,000 foot of climbing if I do the 15 miles. I think that's doable right now anyway. So I'm about 2.5 miles in. I just started this climb. Well, started down and right in there somewhere. But it's short-lived and fairly well graded. And once I get up to the top of this, you get a long downhill. So there's a hostel at a road in 4 miles. That sells snacks and stuff. But the gut hooked comment, somebody like the end of September said they ate all the snacks and drank all the drinks and they were not sorry. And like 2 weeks later there's a comment about no food. So I don't know if the hostel just hadn't resupplied. I'm not going to what, but I'll probably just skip on by. There's a camp spot. It looks like it kind of skirts going up this one. Good. Nice cool breeze. It's 63 today. So not bad. At the moment, I think we'll make the 15 miles. My toes are a little sore, but they're doing good at the moment. So we'll just see how they go as the day goes by. And it looks like we're about to start our downhill. I come up to this hill climb. This is the second part of it. Almost to the top, I think. It's not too bad. This one wasn't switchback. I can tell I'm not too far from the road because there's 2 day hikers passed already. Just enough hill climbing this morning to get all sweaty. Yep, it appears this is the top. There's a whole lot of nothing to see. Oh well, that's the way it goes most of the time. We've got a pretty good view right here. You can see off in the distance how it's so hazy. Probably a city or something that direction. That's really the only difference I'm seeing in Tennessee as far as like when you get a good view, is everything's just more hazy. Whereas up like New Hampshire and Maine, the sky, the air was so clear. And some sprinkling of color out there. Still a lot of green. Well, I got this one little hill climb here, and then it looks like we're gonna have a decent downhill stretch. Got 12.5 more miles. Oh, my toes and all feel pretty good until I stop somewhere for a few minutes. And then that's when they're sore, start moving again. I may take my shoes off when I get to the shelter. I'm thinking about cooking an early dinner. Campsite there, I guess. Water, I don't know. There's a campsite there, yeah. Yeah, cook an early dinner. And then that way I can camp if I don't feel like pushing all the way to that next shelter. Push it closer to dark. Well, here's another little view spot. Not too far from the last one. Oh, I got here, took my phone off airplane mode to text my wife. I had a voicemail, so I've been on the phone for like 45 minutes. Now my feet's all froze up, my leg. Good thing I got a downhill stretch. It's gonna take me a quarter mile to get back walking normal. Of course I wasn't planning for a 45-minute delay in my day either, but that's why I don't plan too stringently. Just kind of leave it loose. Never know what else is going to come up. These old road beds, just everywhere. Come on, feet, get back to work. I'll probably be back normal at the bottom of the hill in time to climb the hill afterwards. I got a little waterfall right there. Hope the sun's not impeding it too bad. It's kind of cool. I'm still on the downhill stretch. I passed 2 section hikers a little bit ago. I had just started. They was like, man, you got a long downhill ahead of you. And it's like, nice. I didn't tell them that they still had a good bit of uphill to do. Almost ran into this big old orange spider. Just hanging out in the middle of nowhere. Beep. Try to get him to climb back up. There he goes. I got here before I got the web strung. Big old ugly sucker. I don't mind spiders as long as they're not on me. Alright there, Mr. and Mrs. Spider. You are out of my way and I'm moving on. Somebody growing something, I guess, at one time. Well, I'm gonna keep making my way downhill. I can hear the road, so it's not too far. And then on the other side of the road, I get to go uphill. But it doesn't look anything comparable to what I just came down. So that explains why the shelters are only 8.8 miles apart. Because if you're going northbound, that's probably about all you want to do. All that climbing. Well, I got to the road. The signs are here for the Laurel Hostel. It says pizza, cold drinks, 150 yards. I'm gonna walk down there and see. What can it hurt? Get a soda or two, and then climb this mountain. Duck crossing. So the sign says it's right up his driveway, so. It wasn't far. If they have some cold sodas, it'll definitely be worth the trip. It looks like this is a worthwhile little stop. I got a frozen pizza and a Dr. Thunder. Got another frozen pizza in the oven. Looks like they're out of ice creams and whatnot. And pizzas, burritos, beer, soda, a couple of sodas, honey buns, condiments. Not much. No hot dogs, no hot pockets, no cigarettes, no ice cream, no donuts, cakes, ramen. None of that stuff. The snack box is empty. But the donation box is out here on the table, so I'm going to eat my 2 pizzas, and I had a Coke, drinking a Dr. Thunder, probably another Dr. Thunder, and then back to the trail. So definitely worth the swing by. Kind of a cool little place. And a fire pit, some sitting chairs. I haven't seen anybody, don't know if they're here, but either way, I'll put some money in the box and move on. So I'm back at the trail. That was a good little break. Had 2 of those little frozen party pizzas and 4 sodas. So I got 3 more miles to the shelter. 2 hours and 51 minutes of daylight. It's 4 o'clock. So we'll see. I may just stop at the shelter. It'll be a 9-mile day. The unexpected long phone call earlier, and then the break at the hostel. I could hike after dark. I don't have to worry about making dinner. Just depends on how I feel when I get to the shelter. There was a group of 6 that showed up there at the hostel. They're planning to stay the night. They're going north, just doing a section hike. They're down in 8 miles. And it appeared to be only 6 bunks there, so if it had been later in the day, I might go to put my tent there, but it's early enough to move on. So the climb up from the road was fairly short. Just enough to break a sweat. My shirt had dried out there at the hospital. Oh well. I went through a fence crossing. Looks like it. Once upon a time there may have been a fence. Yeah, I see a fence post over there. So at some point, since the AT came through here. This fence is gone. It looks like a short field walk. Maybe an old well down there, I don't know. Not much for views. Sign said it was the Devil's Fork Gap. There's a few dried up cow patties, but I don't see any cows. They had a little climb from the hostel and a short climb after the second road, past the field. They're following an old road bed. I'm trucking along. The toes are a little sore, but overall they're feeling pretty good. So I'm debating, even though it's be just 9 miles, stopping at the shelter just to let the toes keep feeling better. I mean, I have plenty of time to get where I'm going. I would have liked to have went further, but oh man, the pizza and soda break was nice. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. If it stays like this, we'll be there in no time. It's only like 2 miles from the shelter. But I suspect it will not stay this way the whole time. I didn't even look at the elevation profile. I was just, we're going to go over whatever's there and deal with it. Looks like somebody stole the AT survey marker. You usually see these pipes in the ground, and then they have the little Appalachian Trail survey marker with the latitude, longitude, etc. So I've been climbing. It'll go up, level off, go up. Been a nice grade. Trucking right along through it. Nothing real steep. Just enough to get a good sweat going. So I didn't charge my camera battery that I took at the hostel. My phone, my battery bank. I put that on charge. Didn't think nothing about the camera. One battery bar left. The other battery is still dead, so if the camera cuts off, it's because the battery's dead. And then I'll put it on charge in my fanny pack, but have to make sure and charge it tonight. So it'll be good for tomorrow. I carried 4 batteries the first time I was out on the trail. This time I just brought 2. One reason I couldn't locate the battery charger. I think 2 would be sufficient. I can charge it through the camera if I would just remember to charge them. Because I get about 2 days out of a battery. Sometimes I record more than others, but typically 2 days I can get out of it. I have not looked in gut hooks. But I'd say we're probably about a mile, maybe a little more, maybe a little less of the shelter. Because it's been an hour, it's right at 5. So we should be coming up on it here shortly. I'll try to finish this before the battery dies. I think I'm almost to the shelter. I hear voices and stuff. It sounds like a shelter gathering. So it's going on 5:30. I may just stay there and camp at the shelter. Be done for the day. And my toes will probably feel better for it tomorrow. And like that, 15-mile day turns into an 8.8-mile day. But you can't let the hiking get in the way of your trail experience. The hiking will be there tomorrow. Alright, so I stopped at the shelter. There was 10 people there. I was part of a group of 15. The other 5 was at the hostel. So I'm going to keep going. There's a spot 2.9 more miles north called the Sheldon Graves. There's 2 graves of 2 Union soldiers that were massacred during the Civil War that came home to visit family. I had saw it on the AWOL guide, I think yesterday. And then the guy there was telling me about it being a nice camp spot. So we have 44 minutes for the sun to set. And depending on the mountain terrain, it'll get dark quick. So we'll do a little bit of night hiking. I got plenty of water. Since I stuffed my face with pizza and soda, that I'm probably not going to cook. So I have about 1.5 quarts. That's sufficient. But tonight we'll go sleep with the dead. How cool is that? Or creepy, depending. The only problem is it's like 1,400 foot of elevation, it said. Oh, a lot of climbing I didn't want to do. But whatever. Unless it goes to crap in like the next 1.5 hours, though, it's been a good day. And it puts us over 11 miles. So not bad. I'll take it. I charged my camera just a little bit back there when I stopped. Just chit-chatting with those other hikers. So hopefully we have enough battery to get us there. I won't do too much video in anyway. It'll be dark. I've always wondered about the marker trees. You see them, they come out big. Supposedly Native Americans bend them to mark. But I see a lot of young trees, like this one, that's the same way. And just imagine if this thing grows 50, 100 years, what it'll, look like. I don't know. I'm going to have to look at I don't know if there is such a thing as a marker tree, or if it's just a specific kind of tree that grows a certain way. I never think about it when I have a way to look at them. Just when I see a tree. I got a little over 2 more miles. The terrain's fairly nice so far. Maybe it'll stay like this and knock that out real quick. Oh, we made it to the uphill. I would assume it's probably going to switch back all the way up there. It went down, switched back. We came down. I'm sure you can't tell very well, but I hate going downhill when I know I'm supposed to be going up. Because then I know the up's just going to be steeper. But it is what it is. At least the ups are getting easier. So I just climbed up. It goes as far as you can see and then kind of turns and goes. That was a climb. And it probably used to at one time kept going there. As you can tell, it used to be a trail once upon a time. It looks like it's leveling out for a minute. There's sweat streaming down my face. Whew. And it's 61 degrees, according to his watch. I'm definitely going to have soaking wet clothes when I get to camp. Whew. Maybe it won't be windy. The sun's already dropped below the ridge. I suspect we'll probably be getting there shortly after turning on the headlamp. But maybe the worst of the hill climb's over. Definitely improvement. The legs aren't burning. I'm breathing a little heavier than normal, but I'm not out of breath. The heart rate's on 130, so not bad. And the toes are feeling pretty good. Hopefully, by the time I zero hot springs, the toes will be good to go. Or by the time I'm done back on trail. And then it's just 3 days to stand in bear, and then I'll have to take those couple days off to go move the camper. So toes will definitely be good after that. So I got, well, I don't know. It said 1.1 mile. And then I stood there for a minute, and then it backed the little thing up, said 1.3. I like the 1.1. Either way, a little over a mile to get to camp. It's 10 to 7. I'll be breaking the headlamp out here in probably another 20 minutes. There's a water source, 0.2 before it, but I think I'm good. And then the shelter's only 2 miles in the morning, which one of the comments said something about there was a trail here at the campsite that went down the water. So it's still going uphill, but it's a lot more gradual than it was. I think it said we had like 500 foot red underage between here and the camp, so shouldn't be too bad. Whew. I'd be glad to get there. I stopped just to check gut hooks and send out a text. In the first 4 or 5 steps, my toes were yelling at me. So they'll be happy to get into camp socks and camp shoes. I don't know what the elevation will be for this camp. It's 4,100 foot right now. So it shouldn't be too cold. I know it's a bird. I think it's an owl of some kind. And I figured it'd stop as soon as I turn the camera on. Maybe you heard the last. I made like 5 calls. I'll give it a few seconds, see if it sounds off again. There's a lady back at the shelter in the big group. Said she saw a bear yesterday, I think. Just south of Jerry, whatever cabin, which is where I had thought about going today. I guess the owl's camera shy. Just a random truck tire. Probably from the logging days. This does look like an old road bed, so some of these old road beds would probably be cool to hike. You know, they lead to something. Something long forgotten. It's probably too dark for the camera, so I'll keep chipping away at it, and we should be there shortly. So I just had to turn that headlamp on. I checked, we're 0.3 miles from the grave site. I have 0 cell service right here. If I don't have cell service, by the time I get there, my wife will probably be freaking out until she hears from me. I'm going to spend the night in the graveyard with no cell service. Not really a graveyard, I don't know. 2 graves, would you classify it as a graveyard? I guess so. The toe on my right foot is ready to be finished. It's still warm enough. You have the summer bugs out at night. Okay, what's this? Green Ridge Trail. I would say not very many people go to Green Ridge because I don't even see a trail. I know it's dark, but the way gut hooks made it sound like the Graves was kind of off the side trail. But the way them people back there were talking is you could see it from the trail, so I don't know. Okay, so the AT keeps going that way. There is a little blue blaze sign, Shelton Graves. Most southbounders probably miss it. So we're going to stroll up here and see what this is all about. Definitely a big open area. Until there's been a few tents up here. And fire pit, firewood, sitting logs. And here's the Graves. I can't read that upside down in the dark. We'll check it out again in the morning. Yeah, got the official U.S. tombstones. Kind of look around over here, see if that's a good spot. Big old open area, that's for sure. We'll find a spot, throw up our tent, and call it a day. And we will be back at it again in the morning.